You don't have to shut it off.
We're late.
On behalf of council, I want to thank you for coming down to our reorganization meeting this evening. I just have some dignitaries I'd like to acknowledge. And I'd like to start first and foremost with our former mayor, Glenn Cisco. Glenn, thank you so much for coming out this evening. With us this evening also we have Dan Grassi, our county clerk. We also have freeholder Hank Ryan somewhere in the crowd right there. And we also have some former council people with us this evening. Paul Metcalf. Paul, where are you? Former councilman and council president Gary Valletta. Former council and council president Larry Taxis. And we also have this evening former fire chief Ernie Palpicius. Our first order of business is going to be to swear in our two council people, and we can ask Carol Sventi to come up with her family.
Adam. And then
Your left hand on the Bible with your right hand. Stand next to her. I think you know who she is, right? Please repeat after me. I, Carol Sventi,
I, Carol Spenti,
do solemnly swear and affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Charter of the Borough of Kinnelon
and the Charter of the Borough of Kinnelon
of Morris County, New Jersey.
of Morris County, New Jersey.
I do further solemnly swear and affirm
I do further solemnly swear and affirm
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially, and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of councilwoman
all the duties of councilwoman
in the Borough of Kinnelon
in the Borough of Kinnelon
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Yago.
And your sister? Oh, she looks like you're definitely good.
We have somebody who wants to give you yoke.
She's saying, bring on my dad.
Please repeat after me. I, William Yago,
I, William Yago,
do solemnly swear and affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Charter of the Borough of Kinnelon,
and the Charter of the Borough of Kinnelon,
Morris County, New Jersey.
Morris County, New Jersey.
I do further solemnly swear and affirm
I do further solemnly swear and affirm
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially, and justly perform all the duties of councilman
all the duties of
in
councilman
the Borough of Kinnelon
in the Borough of Kinnelon
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Come on up.
I'd like to call the meeting to order and ask that you please rise for a moment of silence. Honor our troops who are currently serving in harm's way and those that have made the ultimate sacrifice. Please join us in a pledge to flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. I'll ask that the clerk please read the Open Public Meetings Act statement.
This meeting is held pursuant to the New Jersey Public Open Meetings Act. Adequate notice of this meeting was advertised in December 27, 2015 edition of the Trends and was provided to the Star Ledger, Daily Record, and North Jersey Herald News on December 27, 2015. Adequate notice of this meeting was also posted on the municipal bulletin board, filed with the acting borough clerk, and provided to those persons or entities requesting notification.
With the council's understanding, I've asked that the roll call be taken from the left side of the dais so that we can mix up a little bit. So,
Councilman D'Antonio?
Present.
Councilwoman Fenty? Here. Councilman Cobell?
here.
Councilman Barish?
Here.
Councilman Yago?
Here.
And Councilman Frida?
Here.
Thank you. Next order of business is the appointment of our police sergeant, Chris Mucci. If you'll come forward, Chris, with your family members. And I'm going to ask Councilman Barish to join me down below. That's okay. Repeat after me. I, Christopher Mucci, do solemnly swear
I, Christopher Mucci, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
the Charter of the Borough of Kinnelon,
the Charter of the Borough of Kinnelon,
and the bylaws, rules, and regulations
and the bylaws, rules, and regulations
of the Kinnelon Police Department.
of the Kinnelon Police Department.
I do further solemnly swear and affirm
I do further swear and affirm
that I will faithfully
that I will faithfully
and impartially perform
and impartially perform
the duties of sergeant
the duties of sergeant
in the Kinnelon Police Department
in the Kinnelon Police Department
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. You guys do okay?
You did good.
Just before Chris steps down, just want to acknowledge what an incredible officer he's been for his department. I know I'm probably stepping on the toes of the chief, who probably should come up here as well to show a little support for his new sergeant. But Chris has been a police officer, I believe, for 13 years, and he joined our department, I think, after coming from another department, so we were fortunate enough to get him to join our team. And during the last 13 years, I think he's just been an incredible benefit to the borough. I think he's got a great approach to the public, and more importantly, I think that he understands the magnitude and responsibility of being in our police department. We have a great police department, and Chris is a large part of that. He also wears the hat as a union president, which is sometimes a difficult job to take on as well. But I cannot thank you enough, Chris, for all your dedication and keep up with it.
Thank you.
No roses? James?
I'm by myself, I guess. I don't know.
Do you want to join you? we're gonna start here a little bit, and I approached our new officer before we started, and I said, please allow me to mispronounce your name a bunch of times. So it is James Economo. Okay, so that's going to work for us, okay? James, please repeat after me.
Sounds.
I, James Economo,
I, James Conlon,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
the Charter of the Borough of Kinnelon,
the Charter of the Borough of Kinnelon,
and the bylaws,
and the bylaws,
rules, and regulations of the Kinnelon Police Department.
and regulations of the Kinnelon Police Department.
I do further swear and affirm
And do further swear and affirm
that I will faithfully
that I will faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
perform the duties of patrolman
perform the duties of patrolman
in the Kinnelon Police Department
in the Kinnelon Police Department
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability.
so help me God. I won't say that we raid good players from good teams, but James is joining us from the Franklin Lakes Police Department, and their loss is our gain. I think that, once again, we've always identified policemen that understand the character of the borough, and more importantly, once again, the huge responsibility they take on. Over the last couple of years, we've seen that police departments all across the country have just not been respected the way that they should be. They have a very difficult job, and once again, I know that the chief puts a great deal of focus on community policing, and we're beneficiaries of that. So we've run a great department. Don't let you guys have a hard time, okay? And well, okay.
This one. They're all going to say their own name. And we'll get them to sign.
Bible again.
Yep.
Going to ask our fire chiefs to come up and join me here at the barracks.
Aren't everybody left? Everybody is.
That's not on the agenda.
Thomas, this is the last swearing we're doing. Back here it goes. I state your name.
I, David Bach,
You solemnly swear and affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Charter of the Borough of Kinnelon,
and the Charter of the Borough of Kinnelon,
Morris County, New Jersey.
Morris County, New Jersey.
I do further solemnly swear and affirm
I do further solemnly swear and affirm
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of
all the duties of Fire Assistant Chief
in the Borough of Kinnelon,
in the Borough of Kinnelon,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Next agenda item is hearing from the public. So if anyone wants to be heard from the public this evening, please step forward, state your name and address for the record, and be heard. Okay, the public's exceptionally quiet this evening. Thank you for that. It's been a long New Year, holiday season. We'll now move on to the election of council president. This is Resolution 1.0116. I will now open the nominations for council president.
I'd like to nominate Carol Sventi.
Do I hear a second?
Second, Mayor.
Thank you. Any other nominations to be considered this evening? If not, roll call, please.
Councilman Giantonio.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sventi.
Yes.
Councilwoman Cobell.
Councilman, but
Councilman
it's all right. I was confident in my gender. Yes.
Councilman Barris.
Yes.
Councilman Yago.
Yes.
And Councilman Frida.
Yes.
Carol, congratulations.
Thank you.
If you haven't noticed, Carol's outnumbered up here.
Really?
She's got a pretty loud voice, though, and I think she's actually, and Glenn may be able to correct me, I think you're our second council president who is a woman in the borough's history, if I'm not mistaken. I think that the only other council president was
Mrs. Corelli?
Mrs. Corelli. So congratulations, another milestone.
Thank you.
Having said that, now we'll move on to the council members' comments, and we'll start with Council President Sventi.
All right. Thank you, Mayor. Just a few words. I'd like to thank the Mayor and Council for the appointment as your Borough Councilwoman and also as your Council President. I'd like to thank you for your trust and support. As Council President, I promise to work for the benefit of all Kinnelon residents, working to preserve and move our community forward in a positive manner to the issues that are brought before this dais. My first term as your Councilwoman is now complete, and my second term has begun. Being your Councilwoman is one of the most humbling and rewarding experiences of my life. I will continue to remain committed to working and doing what is best for all Kinnelon residents. I have no hidden agenda. In fact, I have 10,248 plus agendas. Each one represents a resident of this community. A few highlights of the 2015 that your Mayor and Council have been able to accomplish. We stabilized taxes, no increase in 2015. We realized a $1,046,000 income of the sale of excess sewer capacity from Bloomingdale. We entered into a memorandum of understanding, with the Pompton Plains Reformed Bible Church for the acquisition and development of the KCC project, the Kinnelon Community Center, which will provide more active recreation fields, walking trails, and a much-needed community center. We closed on the Totowa Constructors Pocket Park parcel on Boonton Ave, which will soon be developed into additional walking tracks and a memorial to Kinnelon veterans of war. By doing this, we also preserved approximately $726,000 of New Jersey DEP planning incentive grant money. We received from FEMA $650,000 for the flood damage done to Forge Road. This can be used toward paying down our debt services in 2016. I have thoroughly enjoyed working with the dozens of dedicated and engaging volunteers that comprise the coordinating and open space committees. I am extremely proud of each of these volunteers and the committees they serve, and going forward, hope to remain liaison to the committees in 2016. An additional reward of having been the councilwoman is the pleasure of working with our borough employees. Day after day, these employees diligently work tirelessly to see that the business of the borough gets done. Oftentimes, they carry more than one job title and work late into the evenings at various meetings and events, and through the weekends as well. Kudos and thank you to each and every one of them. I'd like to provide, hopefully, a brief overview of the Coordinating and Open Space Committee highlights and accomplishments over the past year. and mention some of their goals for the future. I cannot overstate how extremely proud I am of these committees and the volunteers who selflessly serve them. The Board of Education will continue to maintain open communications through joint coordinating committee meetings with the Borough and Board of Ed. The Board of Health is looking to increase and expand public awareness to the many services available to the community. They're also working on public presentations and seminars for 2016 that will raise awareness and engage the public regarding various health issues and concerns. The Library Board of Trustees, once again, they balanced their budget and have established the Kinnelon Library Legacy Foundation. They will continue to provide interesting and engaging programs for library patrons. The Friends of the Library realized over $1 million in contributions to the library since 1995, and they exceeded their membership donations of over $40,000 in 2015. The Center for Lifelong Learning has contributed over $100,000 in funding since 2005 and has had a total of 12,000 students pass through their classes since 1993. The Historical Commission completed Phase 1 of their preservation plan, completely restoring LaCole's front porch by utilizing grant dollars from the county and only 20% of the borough's open space fund. The Commission is looking forward to beginning Phase 2 of their preservation plan and restoring LaCole's roof and siding, again using county grant monies. The Environmental Commission completed an update of the environmental resource inventory in 2013, and they assisted in updating and revising the tree ordinance and welcomed new members to their committee. 2016, they look forward to working with the Open Space Advisory Committee on trails mapping projects. Open Space Advisory Committee acquired Toto, a constructor's parcel, in December of 2015, and they're looking forward to working with New Jersey DEP and the New Jersey Highlands Council to acquire the KCC in order to provide the much-needed recreation facilities for both our active recreation teams. In closing, I would like to say once again how very proud I am to be your councilwoman and to have served these 7 committees in my first council term. While this can be an extremely demanding job, it is also an extremely rewarding job. Working with the many volunteers and borough employees and members of this council has not only been a great learning experience, but has also acted as a tonic in persevering some very difficult, personal, heartbreaking situations over the past 3 years. To know that the heart of Kinnelon's community still beats strong is the reason why I continue to serve this community and will always dedicate myself to its residents. Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. I'd like to recognize Councilman Yago.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to start by saying Happy New Year to everybody in the audience. Thanks for coming. I'd like to also thank all my supporters, all the people who helped me, worked for me, or didn't work for me, but worked to get me elected. I'd also like to thank Councilwoman Svente for letting me put my name on her signs, along with her name, and the support I received from Mayor Collins and Councilman Barish. I have to be honest with you, when I was first considering running for council, I didn't think I was going to do it. I'd be running against a very well-liked, well-known council member for 15 years. I'd be running in a primary that was an off-year election, and I didn't think I had much of a chance. I was very lucky due to my supporters and everybody who helped me, and I actually won in what the Trends called a stunning Republican primary upset. And I want to thank everybody who supported me, and I got the message that the people of Kinnelon want some change. I heard that, and I just wanted to say elections have consequences. Change can be hard at times. Change can be hard for some people. But I vow to the people who voted for me that I will work for them and do what they've asked me to do. A little bit nervous. I'm not used to public speaking. Not yet. I'm very excited and looking forward to my term on the council. I was on the planning board for 35 years. In that time, I worked behind the scenes, planning for the town, working on the master plan, which is basically a blueprint for the town. And now, but elections are not about the past, they're about the future. I look forward to working hard now as somebody who can implement those changes, somebody who can help fiscally manage the town in a fiscally responsible way. And I'm looking forward to working with all the council members. I just want to go back to something when I first got on the planning board. There was a gentleman there, Bob Sanfilippo, and he told me when I got on, he said, little piece of advice, you have 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 1 mouth. Use them accordingly. So I'm not the type of person that talks just to hear myself talk. So if you come to a meeting and I'm not saying a lot of stuff, doesn't mean I'm not thinking. I'm watching, I'm listening, and I'll digest everything, and I'll come back when I'm ready to make a comment. Again, I just want to kind of conclude with a thank you to everybody who came tonight. Thank you to the employees, the borough employees, the residents of Kinnelon, and just want to wish everybody once again a Happy New Year, and God bless.
Thank you, Bill. Councilman Giantonio.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I want to thank not only the people here in the room, but everyone in town for having the honor and the privilege of serving the town. As Councilwoman Svente mentioned, it's a lot more work than you may think, but it is rewarding. Sometimes we don't always see eye to eye, but we tend to do what's right for the town, and that's really our goal here. Specifically in the committees that I was chairing up until recently, not to go into too much detail, but one was the ordinance committee, and I was proud to pass the tree ordinance for town ultimately after a lot of work. I know it had been pending here in town for many, many years. A lot of people were very passionate about that, so I'm glad that we were able to get that done. I wish the best of luck to Carol. I know she's done a great job so far. I have no doubt she will continue to do so. And new Councilman Bill Yago, I think, will do a great job too. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Cliff. Moving on to Councilman Cobell. Steve.
Thank you, Mayor. I was trying to think if I could add anything to Carol's list of what went on this year, and I really can't. So
Sorry about that.
That's perfectly all right. You saved everybody listening to everything twice. So I'd like to thank everyone who came out tonight, and mostly the volunteers in Kinnelon, and that includes the people on the dais, with one exception. You're an employee. Because we are essentially volunteers, and everybody from every committee on up is a volunteer. We don't have a lot of employees in town, and a vast majority, or a great portion of what gets done and accomplished and keeps Kinnelon what it is done by volunteers. So thank you to all those volunteers, and thank you to our employees, and I look forward to working with new councilmen and the folks who have been up here for a while, and hopefully we have another very good year. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Now moving on, Councilman Barish.
Thank you, Mayor.
I just should mention to you, because I know Steve touched upon dedication, Mr. Barish's family is in Hawaii, and he's with us this evening. He'll be joining them, I think, tomorrow. So I like the priorities that he said. I don't know if his wife
You all know I'm crazy already.
We'll just go with that. Adam.
Well, thank you. Well, welcome to 2016. This is the year to get stuff done. In December, I talked about what we had accomplished. This time, I thought I'd go over quickly my goals for the year. I want to participate in an open and thorough budget process that sets out a multi-year plan to wisely use our windfall from the sewer capacity sale. The goal of keeping taxes level while continuing to monitor, maintain, and improve our physical facilities, which include Borough Hall, the library, our main firehouse, our rec fields, and our courts, including basketball and tennis. I'll continue to foster cooperation and preparedness by our emergency service providers, Kinnelon OEM, KPD, the fire company, the Tri-Borough First Aid Squad, all who do a great job. I'm going to continue to keep Kinnelon's face to the world, our website, world-class with current images, events, and information. We, the governing body, will continue to grow our Facebook presence and share the goings-on in the community. Kinnelon's a special place, and I believe it's important to preserve our greenery, our open space, our lakes, and tell those who may be considering northern New Jersey that Kinnelon should be high on their priorities for consideration. We made some progress last year, and that was only the beginning. I'm really proud to serve Kinnelon, and I wish everyone much health and happiness in 2016. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. Councilman Frieda.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I'd like to start off by welcoming Bill Yago. It's my new neighbor up here. I've known Bill for quite a while. I've known his daughters and son and wife for probably 20 years of having the deli, and fed them all through high school and all that fun stuff. But want to wish you luck up here. I remember my first Here I Am speech, and I was a nervous wreck up here, and you did a lot better than I did, so congratulations. And it does get easier, and you will find yourself that you will talk a lot more, so you'll be fine. But I just remember a quick story about you. I went down to your business because I said, Kinnelon guy, let me go to his business. I said, I'm going to buy my son's first skateboard from Bill, and I went down there and said, Bill, I'm here to buy my first skateboard for my son. And he goes, has your son ever skateboarded before? I said, no. He goes, all right, go to Walmart. Don't come here. These are too expensive. So he is a man of honesty and a good businessman. I don't know about a good businessman, but he did not take my money. I did go to Walmart, bought the $20 skateboard, and I don't think my son's ever been on it. So Bill, thank you, and I wish you luck. And Carol, I wish you luck as council president. Gloria Corelli was the person I replaced, and you got some big shoes there, and I know you'll do it. So I'd like to start my report with embarrassing Melanie. Melanie, can you please stand? There she is, folks. Melanie Shuckers from our rec department. Melanie, I only did that because you worked about 40 hours of overtime, I think this week, and we never pay overtime. So I wanted you to get recognition now. And the food, there is free food. So, but anyhow, that's Melanie. She's our rec director. She's made a huge impact on our rec programs this year, and I want to thank her as well as her husband, Andy, who's our other unpaid employee, and he does a fantastic job with advice. He's a landscape engineer, I would say, or a field supervisor, golf course superintendent in Paramus, and is always there for free advice for us. And you'll notice this was our first year of the field maintenances and the irrigation and the aeration and all that great stuff that we're doing in our fields. And I know moving forward we're going to see some great differences. And Melanie and her husband, I came here on a Saturday one time, and they're both in a pair of jeans on their hands and knees, tucking in ends of sod on the football field. So not too many people do that, so I want to thank you, Melanie, and your husband as well. Like we said, we did all our fixing of the Muni field behind Town Hall. Now it's irrigation, sod, and a lot of great things being done down there. So I haven't surprised the mayor yet with my next thing down there, but I do have something for you, Mayor. Our summer rec camp program sold out again in record time. Melanie ran that well. We did science, technology, engineering programs out of that, so we're very excited about that program. Volunteerism in town is on the rise with all our sports programs. We're trying to recognize our coaches more, and with that being said, I want to thank all of our volunteer coaches that really do a fantastic job making sure that the kids are cared for, but also educated on the sport and also as role models for our kids. Individual and team achievements that we had in 2015. Now, the word world comes in here because we have a World Series softball championship in Kinnelon, which is amazing. We have a regional softball championship, a football Super Bowl champion, a baseball regional champions, and wrestling had a number of regional and state accomplishments, so great for our programs. We started introducing performing arts trips. Our second one, Christmas Story, was sold out. We have Kinnelon residents bought over $40,000 of Mountain Creek season passes. Hopefully we'll have snow. Tennis is on the rise, as Adam mentioned, so we will be looking at making that tennis court a little bit more playable, if that's the word. This year we added pickleball, which is a new sport, girls pee-wee cheerleading, volleyball, concussion training for all of our contact sport coaches, and also we hired a trainer, so we make sure that all our children are safe during contact sports. I'd like to report our softball scoreboard is finally operational, and it was a lot of group effort here, and I want to thank everyone for that. My DPW employees, and I say mine because they represent REC, is Bill Yago Jr., Billy Allen, and Todd Vigneri. Amazing job. Not only are they great guys, but just they love to work out there, and they're taking a lot of pride in what they do, and you'll see the difference with those three guys moving forward. New town website, I want to thank Adam. A great tool for our town. Did an amazing job. Again, don't really know how you're married, because you probably spend more time on that and then you probably did at your job. So and my wife would divorce me if I didn't go to Hawaii with her to stay for this meeting. So so I give Adam a lot of credit for that, and maybe a thank you if that makes you feel any better, but I still would have been in Hawaii. With that being said, that has enabled us to get the word out about our programs, and with that being said, Melanie took over 2,200 registrations this year for kids sports, so that's awesome. Thank you, Melanie. Lastly, Camelot, which I represent and enjoy representing, had $11,000 in grants last year, so that's our educational component for drugs and alcohol abuse. So we got a lot of great things coming up this year with the kids. They'll be doing the every 15 minutes video again, which is, as everyone sees, it's very emotional, and it's great to hopefully keep kids moving straight forward. And with that being said, Mayor, it's the end of my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. I just want to take a moment to introduce some additional dignitaries that have joined us this evening. And I'm going to be selfish. I know that they represent all of us, but I view them as my assemblyman, my assemblywoman, and my senator. So my senator, my good friend, Senator Panaccio. Joe, well. And I'll change it. Our assemblywoman, Mrs. DeCroche. And I don't know why he's not divorced because of the time that he puts into his office, but
too many kids.
Our assemblyman, Jay Weber. So. We are so fortunate as a community to have representation down in Trenton that really furthers our interest in who and what we are. All too often, I think there's a divisive element in Trenton that doesn't allow voices to be heard, but we're very fortunate that we have three representatives that go above and beyond in making sure that Kinnelon has a seat at the table. And I know how hard you work each and every day, and cannot thank you enough for what you do. And Joe, I don't know if you want to address the crowd this evening. I'm going to put you on the spot. That's a no.
Happy New Year, Michael.
Thank you. Well, please continue the good work because without you, I think once again we would be at a loss. So congratulations on re-election, and thank you again. Before we move through some ordinances, I just want to really make a point with the council. I know that there's maybe some disagreement on professionals and committee appointments this evening, and I will tell you that having been involved with the council for now over 15 years as councilman and mayor, it's a bad thing when everybody votes the same way. Because what that says is that there's no independent thought that ultimately comes to the table. So I know that sometimes it's viewed as being divisive and maybe not constructive, but I think that, once again, the process that we try to adhere to is to do the best for Kinnelon. And ultimately, I think that that's my goal as mayor here. Everyone up here has a seat at the table, and things do not happen just because one person up here wants it to happen. This is a collective effort, and I think that, once again, there's 7 people sitting here that represent you, the public. We may not agree on everything, but once again, I think that we do have a shared vision about what makes Kinnelon a special community, and irrespective of yays and nays, at the end of the day, we really do care about you personally and individually. Having said that, I want to just once again remind the council, you have a voice, and just because you're not serving on a committee that you may have asked me that you would like to serve on, doesn't mean that your opinion and viewpoints are not valued, but I'm trying to ultimately, once again, put council committees together that serve, I think, a different direction here. So my recommendation this evening under Resolution 1.0216 is for Finance, Councilman Barish as Chair, Councilwoman Senti and Councilman Yago as members. Ordinance, Councilman Yago as Chair, Councilwoman Senti and Giantonio as members. Personnel, Councilman Yago as Chair, Councilman Barish and Frida as members. Public Safety, Councilman Barish as Chair, Councilman Cobell and Yago as members. Public Works, Councilman Cobell as Chair, Councilwoman Senti and Frida as members. Utilities, Councilman Giantonio as Chair, Councilman Cobell and Frida as members. Recreation, Councilman Frida as Chair, Councilman Yago and Councilwoman Senti as members. Coordinating, Councilwoman Senti as Chair, Councilman Cobell and Giantonio as members. And Open Space, Councilwoman Senti as Chair, with members Councilman Yago and Councilman Giantonio. Technology, Councilman Barish as Chair, with members Councilman Yago and Senti as members. I don't foresee me changing the recommendation, so this is really an up or down vote. And once again, I did take into account various committee members' recommendations on which committees they wanted to serve on. And I look forward to ultimately improving the way that we're coordinating. We don't have a business administrator, so without that, the committee structure becomes ultimately more important in the way that we handle the business of the borough. And I'm pleased to say that I think that, given what I'm recommending here this evening, that ultimately we will, in fact, achieve greater success moving forward. I know that Councilman Cobell has served on finance for a number of years, and I look forward to him contributing once again to the Finance Committee's efforts here during the upcoming year. Those are the recommendations, so I will ask for a motion.
I'll make the motion to confirm.
Ask for a second.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Giantonio.
Yes.
Councilwoman Senti.
Yes.
Councilman Cobell.
Yes.
Councilman Barish.
Yes.
Councilman Yago.
Yes.
Councilman Frida.
Yes.
So after I tell them not to vote the same way, I don't know if I should be disappointed or just appreciative of the fact that, once again, I think we are going to put the borough's best interest forward here as we move into 2016. For Resolution 10616, Council Planning Board Representative, and this is a Class 3 member for 1 year. This chair was previously occupied by Councilman Barish. I think it's appropriate, but I'll ask for nominations. I think that, from my perspective, Councilman Yago's involvement with the Planning Board has been an incredible asset over the years, and I would be hopeful that we would endorse his appointment.
I would
as
yield
a
my
runner.
position to the gentleman from Kinnelon.
You'll do that?
Yeah.
Okay. But do I have a nomination for it? That's the question.
I nominate Bill Yago.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Giantonio.
Yes.
Councilwoman Senti.
Yes.
Councilman Covell?
Yes.
Councilman Barish?
Yes.
Councilman Yago?
Abstain.
And Councilman Frida?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Next resolution that we will deal with this evening is the 2016 appointments. This is 104-16. There are some significant changes to our professionals this year. And I know that some council members indicated to me early on that they thought that the complement of professionals we had here was doing a good job. And I know that some council members had indicated that ultimately maybe stability was added by holding on to certain people. We've had some very fine professionals that have done an excellent job, but I think that we have an opportunity, I think, to do something a little different this year that ultimately will move us forward in, I think, a more positive direction. Once again, I think that the people that are listed here are proven professionals, and I think that once again the recommendations have been made, and I don't see me once again changing the original proposal here. So I will ask for a motion.
Mayor, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Real quick before you get, is there any way to poll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of the vote so we can discuss it as a council in a workshop?
My preference is to do the appointments as set forth this evening, Jim. I think I'm pretty comfortable with that. So
So you want to move forward tonight?
I want to move forward tonight.
Because I wasn't involved in any of this decision-making.
We've had 2 months. I think I started this process over 2 months ago asking for recommendations. We went out for RFQs, and anyone that wanted to meet with me to talk about professional appointments had the opportunity to do that over the last 2 months. Ultimately, you may feel that there are people here that you're not supportive of, but I want to tell you that I did my due diligence. I also spoke to our employees. I talked to other professionals. I think that the complement of professionals being put forth this evening ultimately, once again, will serve the best interests of the borough.
Well, I specifically asked for pricing on these professionals. I didn't get any of that. I asked for an interview with professionals. I didn't get any of that. I have emails here where I sent to you and Karen asking to interview the professionals. And I said I think all should come with an interview with a fee schedule of what the borough is going to be charging. Unless you have a fee schedule, I'm uncomfortable with approving this because I don't know anything about these professionals. I never met them. It's not fair and it's not an open process.
Well, it was an open process, and
It
I know
was
that
not an
you
open
mentioned that
process.
you
I
wanted...
didn't know about it, and
I know that you mentioned that you wanted to interview professionals, and I know that Karen asked you for specific dates when you were available to interview professionals,
I
and you
said to
never
her
got
I'm
back to
open
her.
anytime.
You never got back
Karen,
to her,
I
that's my
tell him
understanding.
different, Karen. I had a conversation with you.
And
I said I'm open anytime.
Well, additionally, what has happened is that we do have proposals that were available for review.
Well, then tell me the pricing of these professionals, because I don't know.
Well, unfortunately,
What's
they're
the
not right in
percentage,
front
the
of me.
risk manager?
5% versus 6%. 6% is the current charge, but,
5% is the current charge.
well, 5%, then it's matched at 5%.
Okay,
And we're not changing the...
Our last risk manager saved this borough almost $100,000.
Right, but I think we have an opportunity to move forward with a different broker, ultimately under the JIF umbrella that still will serve the purpose of the borough.
Is it 5%? All right, and the labor attorney, how much is he charging per hour?
$125 an hour.
$125 per hour. And what's his name?
His name is Fred Semero. He's also the municipal attorney for...
He's the one that,
Bloomingdale.
4 years ago, we were going to appoint him, and then as a full council, we decided not to appoint him.
Right, but he's the one that ultimately facilitated the transaction
Right.
and the sale of the excess sewer capacity,
Oh, okay.
and did an incredible job with that.
Because I remember 4 or 5 years ago when we appointed new professionals as a full council and mayor, we sat here and interviewed every person, every risk manager, every labor attorney, every borough attorney, every auditor, every wastewater management engineer. We sat here, all of us, interviewed, asked them price, asked them everything, and then we all decided unanimously which person we were going with. Now here, I haven't met the risk manager sitting in the audience. I have no idea who he is. Dental insurance guy, I have no idea. Labor, no idea. Do I want to know his borough attorney because we replaced him 5 years ago because he was too expensive, and we all badmouthed him because when we changed to a new attorney, he charged us to give us back our own files, and we're all like, that's ridiculous, and now here he is, he's back. So I'm uncomfortable with any of these, not because you're the mayor, not because of anything. I'm uncomfortable with it because I don't know him, we didn't interview him as a group, and if there's anybody on this council that can tell me different, that we all sat here and interviewed him as a group, I'm wrong. But we did not.
Well, once again, I think that you have the opportunity to meet with any professionals that only are here or we proposed.
So any council member that approves this tonight is really saying, let's just move forward with whatever, because we
They're moving
don't know
forward.
anything about them.
They're moving forward with the recommendation from the mayor on professional appointments. That's what they're moving forward. So
Then
you don't trust my judgment
I
and
do
due
trust you, but
diligence
this
that
is
ultimately
not
was
fair and
done.
open. You preach open process all the time.
I do. And
And this is not open.
Well, you're entitled to your opinion. So
And then we have one of our appointments, we only received one RFQ. And then I heard that he's not even on here, we're using someone else that you called. How does that make that look?
RFQs are not a specific requirement of moving forward with
So
appointments.
if I become mayor one day and then 20 years from now and decide that my friend should be the attorney here, I can throw all the RFQs away and then call someone and say, I want you to be the borough attorney.
And if the council goes along with your appointment, ultimately that person will in fact be appointed the attorney.
It'll be very sad if this council approves these appointments without knowing anything about these people and their pricing or haven't met them.
Well, I think, once again, people had the opportunity to do the due diligence. We started this process 2 months ago. I think it's a little late to the game now to be talking about...
It's not late, I got it today at 11:15 I got this
2 weeks
today.
ago, Jim, you asked-
11:15. 2 weeks ago, I asked you, should I waste my time reading these RFQs, or are you going to appoint someone without telling me?
Right.
And you said, Jim, we're going to do due diligence for the residents, and this is on a recording. We're going to do due diligence, we're going to meet with everything, it's the right thing to do for the residents. And I looked at it and said, amen, Mayor, it's on the recording. Now here we are sitting in front of the public, and we didn't do due diligence. All I'm saying. So it's not personal, it's just the wrong thing to do. And if everyone up here, sitting up here saying we're doing what's right for the residents, we're lying to them by doing this.
Well, I think that some people did do their due diligence. I take exception to that. I think you had an opportunity to ask the questions, to meet with professionals, and for whatever
I
reason...
didn't get the opportunity to meet with
You
professionals.
didn't get back to the clerk regarding
Yes,
what your
I did.
availability was, and that's not the way I saw it, but...
It's right here.
To answer your question, once again, I don't think this...
Right here.
This is not a lack of open, this is, once again, me making some recommendations on professional appointments that you may or may not agree with.
Unbelievable.
So, I will ask for a motion to approve the appointments as set forth in the agenda this evening.
All I'm asking is the council, if you have majority of the council, let's meet with them. They're going to vote for them anyway, but I would feel more comfortable knowing who they are and what they're charging the borough.
That's fine.
Ed Buzak, we had a problem with him in the past that he charged us for a simple, hey, can you answer a quick question? Bam, $180.
I don't...
Sorry to interfere. I just need a little clarification. It's my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the council doesn't actually participate in the naming of these people, that this is done by the mayor, just with the approval of the council.
That's correct.
So there's nothing wrong in you. It almost sounds like like it's being portrayed as you're doing this single-handedly. But is it am I getting this right? You are responsible to do this, and then it's just the council that approves or disapproves this. And just in defense of Ed Buzak, I've known Ed Buzak for many years. He actually, maybe he's more expensive than the current attorney, and I don't even know. But I do know that he has a lot of experience in municipal law.
I agree.
He has been awarded by his peers as a super lawyer in the state of New Jersey.
I agree.
For his, so
Bill, I
take
wrote
little
down,
exception to where it's
interview
hearing
Ed
people.
Buzak. I wrote that down. All I wanted was the opportunity to interview them. That's it. That's all I'm asking. It's with consent of the
And-
council. How can we consent it if we never met these people?
Jim, I have met them, and I have seen their RFPs,
So have I, and you and I had a conversation, there's no pricing on the RFPs.
That was
And
on the
you said-
RFQ. There is an RFP that exists.
I mean, I'm sorry, where's that?
The mayor did his due diligence. I asked for it, I stopped by his office and I looked it over. He has the pricing for Buzak, he has the pricing for Vaza, he has the pricing for all these.
We don't.
You never asked Jim, you never reached out for me over the last month and a half to say, Mayor, what are you considering for as appointments? You sent out an email saying that you wanted to interview people at the last minute.
On
and
December
ultimately-
15th.
Ultimately, you identified
You told me on
people.
December 10th, that was when we talked about it.
We started
On
the
December
RFP
15th, I said,
process.
"Hi, Bob, my request for interviews for professionals are attorney, Weiner and Lenal, Aquaviva and Buzak."
And the church, the clerk asked you for your availability, you never got back to it.
Bob, I'm here every day.
Well, fine.
I'm just
You're
explaining to you
you're
why...
entitled to your
I'm
opinion, but
explaining to you
Mr.
why I'm going to vote no.
That's fine. That's fine. I'll ask for a motion to approve the professionals as set forth in the agenda this evening.
I'll make the motion.
Do you hear a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman D'Antonio.
I had also asked to meet to discuss some of the professionals, so I'm voting no.
Councilwoman Sente.
Yes.
Councilman Cavell.
No, I would have preferred to follow the process we did last time around and schedule interviews, and just, didn't happen.
Councilman Barish.
Yeah, I did have the opportunity to review the RFPs, and I did get to meet with these individuals, so I vote yes.
Councilman Yago.
I also met with these individuals and saw the RFPs, and I vote yes.
Councilman Frida.
No.
Votes are 3 noes and 1 yes, and first time in my
Three yes.
tenure, I'm sorry, 3 yeses and 3 noes. Tie vote for the first time as my tenure as your mayor. I get to cast a deciding vote, and I vote yes for the professionals as proposed on the agenda. Motion carries by a vote of 4-3. Moving on to the next resolutions, which are, and I'll ask the council if you want to do these independent of one another. If you want to ultimately take them in total, I'd like to know ultimately what your feeling is on that right now.
All together.
Okay. I have all together, at least from Jim. Anybody else?
Consent together.
Yeah. Oh, this is consent agenda.
Consent agenda. Okay. I wasn't sure.
Anybody else want to do it individually or together?
All together is fine with me.
Okay, I think we have
Together.
a general opinion that it is all together. So this is a motion to approve resolutions 10516 through 12615.
60.
No, I'm sorry, 16.
My mistake, sorry.
Okay. Someone offer that, please?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Excuse me. Councilman D'Antonio.
You okay, Ken?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sente.
Yes.
Councilman Cavell.
Yes.
Councilman Barish.
Yes.
Councilman Yago.
Yes.
And Councilman Frida.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries 6-0. Mayor's comments, the next agenda item. I would like to begin my comments this evening by thanking all of our municipal employees, especially the Kinnelon Police Department and the Kinnelon Fire Company, each of whom do outstanding work each and every day. Also, as demonstrated by the years of service of Mr. Orcott and Mr. Powell, we are truly fortunate to have volunteers that commit endless hours to various boards and commissions to ensure that we can provide essential services. We've received indication that Mr. Orcott will be stepping down after serving 19 years on the Planning Board, 30 years on the Environmental Commission, and 31 years on the Board of Adjustment. Mr. Powell has indicated that he will be retiring and resigning from the Planning Board. He's moved out of the area after serving as on the Planning Board for 23 years. Our recreation program continues to expand and improve and provides our youth with the opportunity to grow and mature into successful adults. The Kinnelon Library is one of our finest in the county and is truly the center of our lifelong learning. Anyone who has seen the lines for the Haunted Library before Halloween would surely recognize how excited and important these types of events are to our community. The year of 2015 saw many achievements, but also some areas where we fell short of desired goals. Our successes included a freeze on the 2015 municipal portion of our property tax. Although the borough's portion of property tax represents approximately 18% of the total Kinnelon property tax bill, we continue our efforts to control any increase to the property taxes that would ultimately lower our property values. The sale of excess sewer capacity to Riverdale allowed the borough to recognize approximately $1,046,500 in unanticipated revenues, a portion which was used to offset a projected tax increase. The remaining balance from the sale should be used as a dedicated fund to freeze the municipal tax in future years. The Kinnelon Community Center property acquisition continues to move forward with the assistance of the current owners, the Pompton Plains Reformed Church, and the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection and the New Jersey Highlands Council. The acquisition will provide a recreational resource for our community center that will serve the entire community. We will be applying for grants to assist us in the development and using the additional open space trust monies to develop the property. This was the defined purpose for these funds as approved by the residents of Kinnelon. The acquisition of the 5-acre parcel across from Company 2 Firehouse has preserved over $700,000 in New Jersey Green Acres Planning Incentive grants and will be used in the acquisition and development of the Kinnelon Community Center. Once developed, it will serve as a Veterans Memorial Park, I'm talking about the 5 acres, where we can reflect on how fortunate we are to have so many dedicated men and women in our armed services who are protected and continue to protect our freedoms. We took advantage of current interest environment and refinanced over $9 million in outstanding debt. That transaction will reduce future interest cost on principal amount that was refinanced and save our taxpayers money on future tax bills. Where we fell short. Some of these items may have been affected by extenuating circumstances, but nevertheless, the goals were not achieved. The municipal budget was prepared independently without my involvement as your CEO and without the involvement of the full council. This is the first time in the last 15 years or more that we deviated from a budget drafting process that has allowed the full council to have an exchange of ideas on the financial future of the borough. Additionally, the budget was late again this year. The Department of Public Works did not meet the stated completion date of the new building. It is a work in process, and thankfully the weather has cooperated. K-Fest was canceled for reasons out of our control. It looks as though the borough's tax revaluation has not progressed to the point where we will be able to adjust assessed valuation for next year's tax bills. It will have to wait till the year after that. Number 5, we did not address the open building permit issue as recommended by our building inspector. Number 6, we did not complete the union contract negotiations with the union employees who perform the administrative duties in Borough Hall. This contract expired over 3 years ago, and once renewed, we will have to renegotiate it for the new contract term. Finally, we did not take any action on the public's demand and petition regarding whether or not there is a community support for a referendum on the question of installation of artificial turf fields within the borough. 2016 will continue to represent certain challenges for our community. We are impacted by the Highlands development restrictions, and as such, we will not have any substantial commercial ratables other than the Marshalls in the Meadtown Shopping Center. I am asking the council to focus on the following goals for 2016. Finalize the union contract with the employees who perform the administrative duties within the borough and improve employee morale within the borough. 2, continue our efforts to control property taxes with greater outreach to the Board of Education on finances through leveraging current assets. 3, prepare this year's budget with the full council input. Prepare a PowerPoint budget presentation for our residents. And finally, hold a public meeting dedicated exclusively to the preparation of this year's budget. 4, develop a multi-year budget plan to assist in all future financial decisions. Support and assist our professionals ensuring that the construction of the DPW building gets back on track and that a completion date will be actually met. 6, enter into a contract with the Pompton Reformed Church for the acquisition of the property designated as the future site of the Kinnelon Community Center. And 7, make a commitment to working with the Kinnelon Board of Education to hire a school resource officer, even if it means providing financial assistance from the borough to do so. Number 8, to work with homeowners of distressed properties to ensure that neighboring home values are not negatively affected. We do have a property maintenance ordinance, but I'm looking for additional assistance for those people in need. And finally, number 9, hire a professional company to organize and run our community event known as K-Fest. There are companies that will do this at no cost to the borough, assessing charges to participating vendors. 5 years ago, the controlling majority of the council decided that proven professionals with an exceptional record of representing the borough's interests needed to be replaced with professionals of their liking. One such example was a municipal attorney from Bergenfield, New Jersey, who represented no other Morris County municipalities, especially one like Kinnelon, which has 98% of its landmass located within the Highlands Preservation Area. So it's the same controlling majority reappointed that same attorney by a vote of 4-2 last year. I do not believe that Kinnelon's interests and goals were best served by some of these professionals who seem to be more concerned with keeping their jobs and their professional relationships with the controlling majority of the council, rather than doing the right thing for the borough. Therefore, after consulting with council members who had the same concerns, other professionals, and more importantly our employees, I recommended sweeping changes to our professionals. As the year begins, we are fortunate to have retained the legal representation of Ed Buzak, perhaps the finest municipal attorney in the state. Ed served our town with great distinction for many years and will continue to do so as we move forward. I am pleased to announce that the appointment of the professionals this evening will serve the interest of the borough, not mine as mayor or the controlling majority of the council. It is the way that good government is supposed to work. I also recommended sweeping changes to the committee membership and chairs of various council committees. As the chief executive officer of the borough, it was my assessment that some of the council committees were not fulfilling their defined responsibilities as outlined in the borough's bylaws. We had lost our focus, and more importantly, were not coordinated as a governing body because certain members acted independently of the full council. By the way, if you don't know it already, our form of municipal government does not have a deputy mayor. We owe it to the public to put our personal differences aside and to work together to accomplish our mutual goals and to serve the best interest of Kinnelon. We have an exceptional town with great schools and residents who have a keen appreciation for where we have been as a community and what we can achieve if we work together for each other. The possibilities and challenges are great, but I know that we can, and we will, achieve much success in the future. We have a shared vision of what the borough of Kinnelon is and of what it will be. As your mayor, I thank you for your continuing support. Thank you. I'm truly humbled by that, and I do mean that should be for the entire council. I mean, we really do work hard. We do have differences, but the commitment is really to you. It should be about you each and every day, and I think we're going to work towards that goal. I'm going to ask for adjournment and ask that you join us for some refreshments, and thank you so much for coming out on a cold but clear night. So I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Your second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you.